Well, he's not coming. So, as he was yesterday, the Artful Dodger is not going to be here for this show. So, I think I'm just going to roll the titles, and we can just be us two, just the two of us.
Yeah, we can blather on about something Destiny related, maybe.
Maybe.
Welcome to the Two Titans and a Hunter, a Destiny 2 podcast, a show dedicated to bringing you the latest intel, the mightiest news, and the boldest opinions from the farthest reaches of the Sol system. Whether you're a bright-eyed new Guardian, fresh from the Cosmodrome, or a battle-hardened veteran of the Red War, this is your Destiny destination. We'll arm you with tips, tricks, and tower-worthy tools to help you triumph, thrive, and revel in the glory of the fight. So without further ado, let's get on with the show.
So yeah, welcome to the show this week. It is just Peroty and Night Demon, the Artful Dodger Noble, who wanted to be in the show, hasn't joined the show, dodged me yesterday. I'm calling you out, Noble. That's it. At the opening of the show, I'm calling you out that you dodged me yesterday. Said you're going to come and play. I threw a couple of memes at you and you got scared and you didn't come and play with me. Used some excuse of had to help his wife. So left me all alone to play Destiny. And Destiny I played, lots of it. This week I've been going back and playing the Edge of Fate campaign stuff because I was getting so fed up with looking at that map and all these blue kind of shields all over the place. But it was like whack-a-mole. Every time I kind of completed one, there was another one opened up. Every time I went to the map, it was like, I was like, what is going on? Why are there so many of these extra missions? And all it is speak to somebody over here, run to over here, scan an area over here, run over here, scan an area over here, run back to a different person, and then talk to them. And then it's like, okay, so I've completed that one. A couple more pop up, and I'm like, okay, do another one. But I'm going back to the same area or in a vicinity of an area. So what I was kind of doing was picking up a couple of the quests that were near each other, and then hopefully some of the things were close to each other. I could do 2 or 3 at the same time. So I was kind of, yeah, okay, I'll do all of these. So yeah, I've cleared my map of all the blue shields on my Titan. I haven't, as I said, I haven't kind of gone back and done anything on the Warlock and the Hunter. I was like, okay, I'll leave them and we'll see how that goes. Because I was toying with the idea of just, for science, completing everything that I could possibly do on that one character, and then maybe buying the whatever it is, I don't even know what it's called because of all my characters are at 550. They don't need to do the Edge of Fate campaign or anything kind of Renegades. They're all kind of there.
Right, yeah. Any of the boost stuff. Yeah, it's really just
the boost,
going in and replaying the Edge of Fate to get the, I guess some of the unlocks or to have the tier drop. You'd think after this long I would have a better idea on what I need to do where, when to have tier 5 Giver's Blessing auto rifles and stuff dropping for me, or I know the Aeon Renewal armor set isn't really anything exciting, but having some of those weapons that I don't have any tier 5s of because I wasn't high enough and I didn't grind my face off.
Yeah,
so it's just do I really have to go play the campaign a third or fourth or fifth? How many times do I have to do this on how many difficulties to get this to be I'm at 550, tier 5s are dropping from everything else, and I go back to Kepler and it's here's some lower tier stuff. Why am I here? This again, it's just silly.
Yeah. And that was my kind of thinking. It was if I complete everything on my Titan, am I then able to buy the boost on a character? And it just goes, right, you've done everything on that one character, it's all completed, and now you get the exotic. Because that's the only thing that I think is holding you back from kind of getting that exotic, is doing the campaign on those characters. So I'm missing those exotics on those characters because I haven't done the campaign. And I've tried throwing exotic engrams at Rahul to go, well, I haven't got that one. Give it to me, please. And he's like, no, I'll give you everything but that exotic. So you are going to either have to play the game or you're going to have to boost the game. And I might try I might try the boost on one character to just see what it kind of does for me in terms of, well, I've completed everything on that character over there. So in theory, it should go, you've completed everything on your account kind of thing, which is what I think it should be.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know we had. I won't be able to find it, but I know we had a couple weeks back. Someone had bought the skip for, I think, I can't remember if it was Renegades or if Edge of Fate. I can't remember how many weeks back it was now, but I know someone had done a video on, hey, I bought, basically, I did the campaign skip. I'm not doing it 2 more times. Let me buy it and see what it gives, see what it gives me, see what it actually does, or what it unlocks and doesn't. But yeah. I mean, I know you get the exotic. I know you get the campaign stuff done, or maybe yes, and even now as I'm saying that, I'm going, but do you? But was that the difference? Yeah, I know it says, like, I think to some degree when you go to buy it, it'll sort of tell you what it does for you. But yeah, I don't remember. I can't remember now. And yeah. I'll see if I can dig up that video or find it in our links. But yeah,
no, I know what you mean.
Everything I thought I knew, it's like, I'm sure. No, I'm not sure. I'm not sure about anything.
The only thing that I'm kind of stuck on, because I thought, well, I've done everything on my Titan so far for the Edge of Fate campaign. I'm going to go back and I'm going to play. I'd already done Fabled with Blue, I think, when it first came out. We'd already kind of gone through, and then I did the Fabled mission. So it's now up to Mythic. And I thought, well, I'm going to go around and I'm going to play as many Mythic missions that I can. Yeah. And do as many Mythic things that I can with my solo build. And I was like, I'm just going to use my lightsaber, and I'm just going to... Easy. I know it was hard at the time, because even if you were like 200 or over that, it was still quite hard. And looking back at some of the Datto videos, he was like, you might want to take a fire team if you're kind of doing this and doing that. And I'm like, nah, I can solo this now. It's fine. And that was quite fun to just be able to kind of walk into those Mythic missions and just kind of walk to the end kind of thing. There were a couple of times where I did die, but that was only kind of stupidity. There was one point where I don't know why, I went to slash an enemy, but it went, hey, look, there's a ledge over there. Let's just slash past the enemy, take you off the ledge. Oh, by the way, you've already used your tangle, so you can't get back up. And I'm like, let's start this fight again. What happened
to you. Yeah, that's how I feel again. Every time I've got Strand on, I have all these crab claws. I can slash, and some percentage of my up to 3 slashes will go in the right direction, and some will go in a totally different. Even if I've slashed an enemy, you would think if I'm holding the direction I want to go and continue to melee, you would think I would melee in that direction. Nope, we're going to send you off over here somewhere instead, and then into a wall, off the edge, wherever. It's like, well, that was working well. I've had the same thought going, do I want to go back and do this? Because it's like we're now ridiculous overpowered gods at this point, so it's like, I know it won't be hard, but it's just irritating. It's not the fighting, it's the number of times I feel like I need to reach for a video to go, somewhere there's a tiny hole you want me to roll through.
Yeah,
I don't know which of the tiny holes you want me to get into. It's none of the ones I've tried. I'm sure I've walked by it 16 times at this point, but I don't find it interesting to try to go find the tiny hole to turn into the ball to then proceed this. Like, can you at some point just give me an indicator? Go, hey guys, it's over there. Look in that corner. That's where it is. Like, if I've been here for 5 minutes messing around, going, I don't know where it is. Can you not just throw me a bone? Yeah. This is not an adventure game. I want to get back to progressing and shooting things. I'm not here to figure out the puzzle of where the tiny hole is. That whole expansion just, again, reminded me of just how much I don't enjoy those mechanics at all of being the ball. The Edge of Fate stuff isn't, or the Renegade stuff is interesting with the different abilities. Like, I like that they try different things, where we have different abilities and different things. But those particularly just, that was not it for me.
No. And I think the thing is that the campaign missions were really good, and they were really good fun even on Mythic. And you remember the one where you've got like the Cyclopses like round on that ring, and there's 2 of them shooting at you. Yeah, that was amazing on Mythic. I was able to just stand there and tank everything. Just like I had one shooting me from behind and one shooting me at the front, and I just stood there and reflected everything back at the first one, and then they send more kind of shielded ones, so I did have to turn into the ball and kind of explode a couple of others, so that I then, if I killed one, I had my overshield with my Titan, and then I was able to kind of just turn around and shoot. And some of the harpies in the air were kind of causing me a bit of a problem, so I had to jump up on some of the blocks. So I was like, well, I'm going to take those out. But even that was good fun, just to be overpowered and be able to do that. But you're right, there was way too much matter spark compared to the other two abilities. There weren't enough, grab the ball of goo and squeeze it and then throw things. And there was a lot of kind of combinations between that and the void cannon that you have to shoot, so that you kind of have to time, like, grab the thing, shoot the void cannon, turn into a matter spark. There's a lot of kind of complicated things like that just were repetitive and like, really?
They're all timing based, which like none of it's hard once you figure out, the basically the order you have to do those in. But yeah, it's just sort of like, it's just like, I've done this once. I'm not like, I don't find it interesting to do again. I don't like, the challenge is there to execute it. But like, once you get it right, you're just relieved that you got it right. You're not like, yeah, I mastered that, now I can move on. It's just like, really, I have to do this stupid dance and then I can continue doing what I'm trying to get done.
Yeah. There were kind of a few, like, the secrets and things, because I was going back and looking at some of the triumphs and things. There's little urns that I've missed. And I was like, right, I'm going to do the graviton spike stuff as well. And some of those are, I mean, they're quite easy to do, but there's a lot of running back over yourself and going to the same area. And I can confirm, if you do it if you've got to the mythic setting and you're going back and doing the catalysts, you could just do it all on mythic, because I think when we had the Edge of Fate, you could pick up a couple that were on Fabled and then the rest were on mythic. But if you are on mythic, you can just collect all of them. And that was the problem, that, like, watching the Datto video, kind of going back over those things of like, well, you can collect these ones on Fable. So I just followed his guide, and then we went back to the same area to do a couple of the mythic ones. I was like, well, I was just here. I'm like, oh, it's like, you took me back to over here and I could have just been here and they were just around the corner, kind of thing. So that was a little bit frustrating, of like having to retread my steps. And some of the other things that were kind of like confusing are, like, there's some chests in some of the areas that you have to use, like the matter spark and the metamorph and all of that to get to, and some of the flowers that you have to shoot with the graviton spike to get to these areas as well. It's like there's like a real combination, which is good in little bits. It's just not all of it, but so I'm now kind of like looking for the urns. And what's hard is if you walk past an area that you go, oh, well, that's got one of those flowers there, but I've got all the catalysts for the graviton spike. What's that flower for? How do I search that up in a video? Because there's nothing that's obvious in that area. If I shoot it, there must be something that it stops or does in that area, but I'm not, it's not literally in front of me. I'm like, there's a bit at Caldera that's round the back of the building. There's the flower that you can shoot, and then there's nothing in the area. And I'm like, okay, well, and some of the things, because we've now gone kind of past the Edge of Fate and everybody kind of looking at stuff and doing stuff, it's quite hard to look at a video to find what you're specifically looking at in the game to go, well, that's what it needs to, that's what correlates with that. And the other thing that's quite hard is doing something that's LFG, because I've done, as I've said,
good luck.
Everything that is up to the point of not getting to the bosses, but those like time like hourglass things that you have to do, you get from the end of the missions. And there's a couple of those missions, well, not missions, but there's a couple of areas that you have to go to, and some of them are like you have to defuse bombs and take down the boss to get that area, and it will give you one of those timers. And I can do the ones where there's no timer, but as soon as you add a timer and I'm solo, I'm like, I'm not esoteric, but I'll give it a go. And I think I spent about an hour in one area where you have to take down 2 fallen captains and a walker. And I can either get down the 2 captains and 3/4 of the tank, or the tank and 3/4 of the captains by myself. I think it's 4.5 minutes, and it's a lot of kind of take down the captains, then roll around, and then just explode with your matter spark, and then take off another shield. But you have to do it for both of them, whereas the tank is kind of just sitting there shooting you. It's all right with my like lightsaber build. I can kind of tank a lot of stuff and not die, but it's like it gets really right down to the wire. I'm like 30 seconds, and the problem is because I've got my lightsaber, it's hitting the leg for like 1 second, and then it's bouncing up and hitting the top of the walk, and I'm like, please, I don't know what else to do. I was swapping out grenade launchers, shotguns. I didn't want to use a rocket launcher as I was that close to the thing. I even kind of swapped out to start off with. Do I use No Land Beyond to take out the walker first from a distance, which was quite quick, but then it was still kind of hard to then do the 2 captains on the side. And I did see Esoteric did post a video going, I've soloed all of these. And I'm like, yeah, I can't. I'm just, yeah, good for you, buddy. Good for you.
Yeah. It's like, yes, I know you can, but yeah, I totally know what you mean. It's like there's like the one part I struggled on solo, especially was like the part where you have to go and like run around. Like you're basically in the room with the shank and the shield, and you have to basically go and like kill one of the guys, pick up the ball, like shoot them, or use your Edge of Fate powers to like make the put the platforms in place, jump up them, put the balls in the little slots, and do that 3 times like around this arena while getting sniped and shot by everything. It's like I could always get like the first 2 done, and then like by the time the third one was there, I wasn't spending enough time like ad clearing or just something would snipe me, and it's just like the number of times I did that over and over and over again. It's just like this. It's like it's not timed exactly, but like timed sort of in that it's like once I've shot this thing, I have to jump up here and put the ball, put the ball in the slot. Otherwise, my whole platform to get up here goes away, and it just is. And again, it's like I know this is the point, game. Like I know you've done this to make it hard for me, but like it's just like it's like this is not the part of the game I'm enjoying. This is not what I'm here for.
Yeah,
and anything with a timer, it's like even if you've got plenty of time to do it, it's still just that, again, I mean, that's why it's there. I understand the mechanic, but just like, no, like, could we just not? And I've been seeing the do the witness solo, like, I don't know, challenge, I guess, going around with some of the streamer type folks.
Yeah.
And I've been thinking, why? Like, why? Like, what would possess you to go and, try to solo the witness? And then I was thinking, like you said, I mean, even if you were trying to do it matchmade, there probably aren't 11 other people you could find to go do it at any given time. The matchmaking, I mean, I haven't looked, but like, even when, control is taking like a couple mornings, like I've popped onto the game and said, let me just like play a match or two of control or something, control or relic, I tried relic. That was a no-go. I sat there for like 8 or 9 minutes and just we weren't even up to 8 people at that point. So I was like, let me switch to control. I was like, let me play it. I have like, I have a half an hour, 40 minutes while I make my coffee and whatever before work. It's like, let me just jump on for a couple of rounds of control or something. Something you should be easy, should be quick. I don't have time for a full anything else really.
Yeah.
So let me, and then if I have to sort of, semi-idle out of the last couple of seconds because I have to run upstairs for work, fine, not the end of the world. But like, just getting match made 12 people for control. And even some of those games we started 4v4 or 5v5 because it never found 12 people. It's just like, it's like, is really just nobody playing this at this point in the morning? Yeah, it's a morning on a weekday, so it's not peak time or anything, but it's like, is there no one out there? Can we not, maybe lessen the matchmaking requirements a little bit just to say, can we find some games?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, the matchmaking has been rough.
Yeah. I mean, I saw a TikTok from Clyde saying he was going over like players moaning about not being able to do stuff. And he's like, LFG, join a Discord, I mean, I was saying like last week, whereas I found it hard getting into Destiny and then getting into like clans and things and talking to people because I was so introvert about things. But the problem is once you once you kind of get into that, that's fine. But then when you start spending more time playing solo, you then start reverting back to being introvert and not wanting to kind of it's kind of hard to explain, but you don't really want to kind of put yourself out there. I have looked on LFG for trying to do some of the older things that I want to do, but there's nobody there, and
Yeah, and
I don't want to then post because I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to be here in like an hour's time when somebody actually does reply to it, kind of thing.
Right. Yep. No, I know exactly how you feel. It's like I am happy to join your LFG, but I don't want to be the one hosting the LFG. Yeah, for both those reasons. One, I don't know if I'll be here long enough for this. If it's if it does go an hour, that's why it's like the few times I feel like I've posted LFGs, it's been like, okay, I've got some time this weekend. Hey, I have an evening free. Let me maybe post about that. So there's like a day or two or three between now and when I want to do the thing. I've not often done, hey, I'm here now and I'm trying to get this done. I have an hour or two. If anyone's around, let's knock this out. Because I feel like unless you get real lucky, especially at this point, you're not going to find people, or you'll find them long enough where it's like, maybe we could start this, and I don't want to invite you and start this and then not be able to finish it because I have to go. It's just like, it's like. And LFG is just, I don't know, a wasteland. It feels like. I mean, even just looking for people, even the people I usually play with, or people that are usually around. It's I sort of feel the same way as you, though. A lot of it's been ships passing in the night. Or again, I've got on and I've got just like a few minutes to play. Not a few minutes, but like I have less than an hour to play. So it's like I'm not looking to do the dungeon. I'm not looking to do anything terribly complicated. I just want to go and just have a bit of fun, not run a couple some things, and then jump off again and go, unfortunately, get on with work and whatever else. But yeah, it's really been like a dip in, dip out, and it's sort of hard to again. I tend to sort of gravitate toward the Crucible stuff at that point, because that's sort of a I know this will go quicker. The Renegade stuff I really enjoy, but it's also like, will I be with two competent people who understand the mechanics so we can progress through this? Or are we going to sit in this room for 20 minutes while I'm doing the mechanic and I've got two guys just like swinging their swords in the corner, but not actually helping? Like just swinging that, like I don't know if people are using it to AFK or what, but like they're just, one guy was just like, he was in one, what? I think it's on Venus, in that one like encounter where like there's like the big tank thing in the corner, and he was just like standing behind the tank, swinging his sword, AFK the whole time, like while the other two of us were trying to clear that encounter and dying, and just like, you're not helping us. Like it got to the point where we shoved him off the edge. Like the one guy had like the the sparrow thing you can call in as a renegade ability, and shoved him off the edge at the end. And he just stayed dead for a while. It's okay. So you've clearly walked away. Now, again, it's part of me is always like, okay, well, are you a parent? Are you dealing with something? It's like, part of me wants to feel a little bad, be like, okay, did something happen? You've got to go deal with it. In which case, fine. But also, we're going to shove you off the edge because this is Destiny. We'll waste a revive of just going, hey, are you here or not? But just it's. I don't know. I think it was MacTix I saw just basically being like, so how frustrated can I be with the people in my Fire teams not doing the objectives and just everything taking so much longer because they're just like in the corners waving their sword around. If you're bad and you're dying, fine. I don't care. I'm not looking for skill. I'm just looking for effort. If you're in the fray, like using your abilities and swinging your sword and like drawing fire, great. If you're just like off in a corner somewhere, not playing, like, come on now, like you're just not helping us. No. You're not an asset to the team. You're just here to ramp up the difficulty of the enemies a little bit higher, but then not actually participate in killing any of them.
Yeah, I think that is some of the things that people need to kind of take into consideration, isn't it? It's like you ramp up the difficulty for the actual players that are actually playing. If you're not going to participate, it's like, oh, really? Why are we doing this?
Yeah, so it's like, why are you here again? Like I play with enough people who are parents or are trying to juggle things, and like you're cooking dinner, you got to step away for a minute. Someone comes to your door again. Like there are plenty of reasons to step away from things, and obviously
Yeah.
I can't. They can't just be like, hey, BRB, because one, I've turned the text chat off, and two, there's no game chat for the most part. And it's funny, even when I'm running Crucible things, and I'll see, oh, so and so has entered the team chat. Never once, even when I enter it and just like have my mic muted, never once do I ever hear anybody speak. Like,
No.
are you entering it just because? Like, are entering because someone else is speaking? Like, it's weird. It's a weird, like, why are you making the effort to go into it if you're then not going to at least say something? Like, say hey, like say anybody else here, like, something. It's just, I don't know. It's a weird, I don't know, quirk behavior. I don't know, something.
Yeah. No, I if I'm in that, like, if I go into a chat, I'm like, is anyone here? Especially if I'm doing like an LFG thing, I'm like, hello. And then sometimes you do get the odd person that will pipe up and say something. You're like, oh, okay, at least I can communicate with somebody if something does happen.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. At least if I'm saying something, at least you're hearing me.
Yeah.
At least, hey, this is fine. Like, I'm not looking to chat with you the whole time necessarily, but just, hey,
No.
like, being able to be like, hey, sorry, my controller battery should have died. Let me swap them out real quick, or just something. Have you done any PvP? I mean, like I know you play a little bit of trials and stuff. Like, have you done any of the competitive to get any peculiar charms, or have you dipped a toe into that side of
No.
things much at all?
Apart from the odd trial stuff since Renegades launched, I haven't actually been into PvP. And it's strange because I'm like, I like doing PvP. And I fall into the well, now I'm scared to go into PvP because I haven't played in PvP, and I don't know. It's a like psychological thing for me. I think sometimes I'm like, if I'm in PvP and I'm constantly playing PvP, even if I'm not getting better, I feel a little bit more confident about being in there. And I think that was the same when Destiny 1 came around. I wouldn't be in PvP to start off with, and if I was, it was just kind of messing around. And then when I realized that KD actually meant something, and I could actually, I am better than what my KD was actually telling other people I was. I was like, okay, I can get this up. And I think Detrick and I both had a really low KD, and we were desperately trying to get it above 1% before Destiny 2 kind of came out. I don't know if he did, but I know I did. Kind of, I progressed to the point where, I think I was like 0.3 or something to start off with, only because PvP was a thing to kind of just mess about in. Or I was just having fun in there, and then took it a little bit more serious and got better, kind of thing. So I get a bit worried about going back into PvP, which is why I don't really mind Iron Banner. I mean, Trials wasn't too bad the other week. I haven't been for like the last 3 or 4 weeks, like over Christmas and recently. So I'm like, there's nothing in there that I want really. I know the weapons, the new weapons that kind of came along, will be in that loophole, and I'm kind of more or less going to get those to drop. But knowing my luck, if I play this week with like shotguns, I'm like, it's just going to give me shotguns all weekend, or like when I can play. I'm like, okay.
How many more shotguns do you need?
Yeah. But yeah, I do want to kind of get into that, but I was like, using these weeks where there isn't much to kind of do kind of event wise to kind of catch up on stuff that I kind of left or just ignored, kind of thing. So I'm like, that's why I'm kind of going back and doing the Edge of Fate stuff. And now I'm thinking, well, maybe I need to go back and do some of the stuff that I've left on Europa and Neomuna and things like that, because there's a few things that I've kind of not done or skipped over. So I might want to kind of go back and do those if we are having a delay between Renegades and the Shadow and Order mid-season update kind of thing.
Yeah, that's sort of where I'm at too. Like, I'm almost sort of looking again, like if there's not like an event going on in the given week, I'm sort of like, well, what do I play? Because the Renegade stuff is fine. I I really thought I would enjoy the arena ops more than I have. I really thought it'd be like, oh yeah, the arena ops, big 6-man activities. We can run around. It's like I don't think I took into account just how burned out I was doing all those when they were up originally, and now it's just like, oh, you want me to do Catch Crash again? Oh, you want me to do not the nightmare hunts, the thing in Callus's palace that I can't remember the name of now. That's even is that even still? Isn't that still in the game as well? Couldn't I do that outside the portal? I just realized I was like, wait, isn't that still over there on the Dreadnought? It's like I don't want to do these again. I've done all these, and then the good, and then of course I was like, oh, maybe I could go do an onslaught or a coil or something. Nope, but it's in Pinnacle, which is good, but it's not match made, which is bad. And I'm not I don't want to do an LFG group for this. I'm like, I just want to go in and say, can you just match make me? Like, I don't really care if we succeed. I just want to go play and just try to have a good time. Just play it out and have some weapon. Try some weapons out. A couple builds I've been working on the Titan that people made videos for it. I'm like, well, let's try this. Let's see if I can get this to work and if I enjoy it.
Yeah.
And just like, I look at the portal and it's just like everything is, you need to bring your friends with you. Well, great. Well, I don't have friends with me right now. So what do? So I sort of default to PvP. Let's go run around in that a little bit and just get my 7,000th drop of everything. And I don't know. I'm so tired of everything they're dropping on us. It just feels like I already have 15,000 of everything. It's like, can we throttle back the drops a little bit? Like I finished one of the Renegade missions the other day, and I got 3 tier 5 helmets of the exact same kind, plus 2 weapons, plus whatever other materials. And it's just like, did you really need to give me 3 identical helmets? Like like they were all different roles, so it's like, you're all different roles. If I were going for something, sure, that could be kind of useful, I guess. But it's like, I don't want to now have to sort through all these 3 helmets you've just dropped me. Like it's
you do.
I'm glad you've given me all of this extra vault space, but now you've just slurped it all up with here's 10,000 things we're going to give you, and now you have to sort through all of this, or just go, or do what I'm doing, just deleting it, going, I don't care. I don't care what this is. This is an armor set that I don't really care about. It's not anything I'm doing anything with. It can just go away. I can just let it go because it's just, I'm not going to spend half my time in game trying to sort through the crap you're giving me.
Yeah. But the good thing was about doing the mythic missions on Kepler, I'd gone to Caldera and selected that I wanted Giver's Blessings. And every time I was doing something or killing a high value target running around Kepler, it would give me more or less 90% of the time a Giver's Blessing at like tier 5 one. Admittedly, it was only like 300 power, but it was like, oh, I've got another one. I'm going to stick that in the vault and have a look at that later on, kind of thing. So,
and it's so funny too. Yeah, getting the stuff that's like, oh, it's only 300 power, it's only 200 power, or whatever. Fine. I have so much 550 gear. Like everything is 550. I can infuse that, no problem. I just it's like I just want that tier. Just want that tier to be higher. Because it's like we've really put all this effort into building 4 additional tiers to then just get right back to where we were not even a year later. It's just like was this really worth all the effort to really build this whole tier system and thing and progression, and then just to go, oh no, we're just to rip all that out again. Like how many hours of work, how many months of work was that now we've just totally undone. Been like, okay, now you're a tier 5, 550. Everything else is trash. Why bother?
Yeah.
And then the things you're trying to get a hold of, like Iron Banner gear or stuff like that, we're just never going to bring back. So hope you got what you wanted 1,000 years ago, because you're just never going to have another shot, another chance to earn any of this stuff.
You say that, but there are new weapons in the database for Iron Banner, but not a new armor set. So hopefully the armor set does come back, but there are new weapons that they've put in the database, a new emblem, a new shader as well. So it is coming back, but it's just like, when, please?
Yeah, it would just be nice to have like every week. I expect to see some mention of it. Some like, hey, we're looking to bring it back. When just give me a month, give me a quarter, give me anything. Like it's like there's 3 versions of Iron Banner. Certainly one of them has to be in a state you could just put it into the game. Like certainly one of these have to be working, unless you're working on some major revamp to Iron Banner that we're going to see, later on this year. Which, sure, maybe that would be nice. But it'd be nice if you said even a word about it. Again, it's going the way of Gambit. We're just not ever going to mention it, and just maybe one day go, oh yeah, no, we've decided to sort of decommission it, and we're just not going to bring it back. It's like, why? Like, why? Like I'm sure it's coming back at some point, but it's just I don't know. It just feels weird to just have things drop out of the game and just like, nope, there's nothing else is going on this week. We could have had an Iron Banner even just as a placeholder, just a little filler, a little something to talk about in the TWAB that week, something to say, hey, here's a reason to come back and play. Nope, just not so much as a peep.
I'm having a quick look because I'm sure Houndish did do a video on it.
Yeah. Like I've heard a couple of people mention it and talk about it, but yeah, no actual information from Bungie. Just going, hey, are we ever going to see this again? Hey, our last one was this. Is it going to come back?
Oh, it's so annoying because it must be in the database somewhere on light.gg.
Yeah, I'm terrible at searching light.gg. I see all these little filters and things, and I'm like, if it's not in the name of the thing I'm searching for. Okay, well, if I filter by season 28 and I search iron, I found Reg Husk's Pledge.
That might be it.
Forged by the Iron War Beast in honor of their Valis. It's a Void auto rifle. That doesn't tell me the other one.
Maybe that's just the one then.
Yeah, maybe that's the only thing in that gear set. But yeah, and it has a nice little, part of the S28 Iron Banner gear set. So I was like, oh, let me click on that link and see what else is in the gear set. That one and the infamous, holofoil, or not holofoil, but the weapon ornament version. It's like that's not a new version. It's just a weapon ornament. You don't really need its own entry, but sure, whatever makes you happy.
Well, that's the funny thing on light.gg. When I was searching for the Arms Week weapons, it gave me the Arms Week weapons, but it gave me like about 3 or 4 different versions or holofoil versions of those weapons. It was like, there's an orange one of the bow, there's a gold one of the bow, there's a green one of the bow. I'm like, which holofoil version are we getting for this Arms Week? Because like I said last time, when we were playing Arms Week, I think we've had 2. The first time it kind of came around, the weapons on the reward track had the same rolls when they came back around again in the same positions on the reward track, but the holofoil variant of them was different from the first time they kind of came around. So I think that's their thing, isn't it? It's like, oh, it's a different version with a different shiny. It's like, okay, yeah. So
it's different now. We promise. It's a whole different thing. Is it though?
So yeah, the weapon that you found, the Reg Husk Pledge, is an auto rifle. It's a rapid fire frame. So that is going to have, where are we? We've got demoralized, destabilizing rounds, rewind rounds, dynamic sway reduction, built to blast, impromptu ammunition, and proximity power. And in the 4th column, we've got attrition orbs, golden tricorn, kill clip, repulsor brace, swashbuckler, target lock, and zen moment. I might like that one. It depends. I mean, base stats are impact of 18, range of 30, stability of 54, handling of 46, reload of 53, aim assist of 74, zoom of 16, airborne is 18, and ammo generation 53, rounds per minute 720, magazine of 49, and a recoil direction of 55. So it's down the middle. I mean, it does come with accurized rounds to bump up the range, and I like rewind rounds on there. Maybe like rewind kill clip might be a good one.
It's got everyone's favorite 2 void perks on it. So
yeah, so if you get something like Hammer Forge, so you've got 10 in range, and then you've got accurized rounds, which gives you 10 in range, and then you masterwork that, and you get maybe a stability masterwork on it. That would bump it up to 54 range and 64 stability, which isn't too bad. I do like that. But we just need an Iron Banner for it to come back so that we can actually get this weapon, Bungie.
Yeah. I went, now that I have the one name, I was searching for it, and I found, so I found that, the Reg Husk's Pledge auto rifle and a couple other, like Blueberry GG has it listed on there, like Iron Banner gear loot pool list, saying it released in Renegades. Well, has it been? Will it be? Is it actually going to be? I was scrolling the list, and that's the only thing they have listed for Renegades. Yeah, but I'm sure. Like I said, I remember watching the Houndage video too, where he mentioned two of them. I don't remember which video now, but yeah, it's like I feel like there were two of them that were out there that people talked about, but that he talked about, but I can't find I nor hear of the other one. So maybe they pulled it. Maybe it's never actually happening. Who knows? But yeah, I was thinking I've been playing a little bit with Void running around in the wastelands, and I was like, oh, it'd be nice to have a Void auto rifle, as I feel like all of my orders as of late and stuff have been like get auto rifle and scout rifle kills. So I've been running around with auto rifles and scout rifles.
Yeah,
So it'd be nice to have some more of these to play with. I was like, a Void one would be really nice. I mean, I've got the Gnawing Hunger of the Vault from 1,000 years ago, but I'd like an updated, fresh one, maybe that would have some good perks on it. But yeah, it's like, when am I going to get a chance to earn some of these? When do I get to have these?
it would give, was it the Reckless Oracle and the Riposte a run for its money? So
Yeah, and then the
well,
Riposte
I say that
was
Riposte. I
good
mean,
and
Riposte
good.
is a 720, but it's a different frame. It's a lightweight frame, but the rapid fire frame is the Reckless Oracle from, is that Garden of Salvation? I think it is.
Yeah,
Which has some of the same kind of perks, the destabilizing and swashbuckler.
Yep, only been killed by that one.
But yeah, I mean, I do like a Ross Argos, and I do like the Gnawing Hunger. So those are the other two that I've got a positive outlook. But I'm like, for PvP, I do like the faster firing ones.
Yeah, and yeah, because all those ones you just mentioned, except for the Reckless Oracle, which I've never gotten because I've never done that raid. But yeah, the rest, yeah, I like that. I like the archetype. I like the style. I enjoyed the Void and the Void perks of it. But yeah, just need to have the mode to play it in at some point. Maybe one day, Bungie. Pretty pleased.
Maybe. So yeah, that's what I've kind of done this week. And you've done some stuff, I guess.
Yeah, I've done a bunch of, I don't know, probably like
Renegade stuff. Yeah.
I've done a dozen or so invasions, some control matches. A bit. I've basically just been, because I've gotten the one faction up to level 5, but not in either of the other two. So I was like, I need to actually, I haven't been playing enough to like getting my shipments or remembering to go pick up my shipments. So I was like, let me go spend some actual time just running the Renegade stuff over and over again. So, and just getting the fact, earning the tokens, going to the outpost, turning those. Let me actually engage in some of this that I've just been forgetting to do. I've been forgetting to visit Vala half the time to pick up my treats from him every week. It's like I need to play enough to unlock the the weapons and stuff from him without paying, because I'm not giving him bright dust for that. That's silly.
No.
Let me pay enough to actually have earned all of these, then I can go pick them up and see what you've got for me each week. Yeah, just seasonal activity stuff, because again, there's playtime has been spotty, and there's not it's like there's no shortage of things to do, but so many of them are outside the role. It's like, why would I ever look at the director?
No, I do get what you're saying. But should we have a look at what Bungie are saying for this week? Because we haven't got a patch, but we have had a This Week in Destiny for the 22nd of January. So they did tell us about Arms Week last week, so they're only going to tell us a little bit about Arms Week this week. A new challenge awaits. A game to give is going strong. One more new player guide chapter, and the Astral Horizon is back in trials, which is what I've already said. So yeah, we have Arms Week next week, or this week coming up if you're listening to this. All going to be about bows. And yeah, I like a bow. I like a Le Monarque, especially on a hunter. So I might use that if I'm going into Crucible and have a bit of fun. But we do have a new challenge, a challenge from the Dark Ages. So Guardians, prepare for our next community challenge, the Dark Age Hunt. It's time to go back to old weapons, no fancy blasters allowed for this one. Choose your favourite bow, glaive and sword to prove yourself in exchange for a unique reward. The Fallen Torches amazing emblem. Well, I can see below, but you guys can't see below because it's on my screen. But it's like a D&D Dungeons torch up against a brick wall. So how do you get this? Well, the goal is simple. Similar to the medieval version of the hardware modifiers that they've had planned for the Crucible during Arms Week. They want you, all of you, to take the loadout concept into Warlord's Ruin. So yes, you have to go into the dungeon, and hopefully you own that dungeon or it's up on a rotation. And I don't know how that works with the portal. So if you don't own it in the portal, can you still do that? Or is it? I don't know. No, it's not in the portal, is it?
Maybe.
Bungie. I know there's. I know Warlord's Ruin. There's a challenge in the Pinnacle Ops to just do the one part of the dungeon, but it's not in the portal. Need a bit more clarification on this one, Bungie, because as far as I was aware, in the Legacy tab next week, Vox Obscura should be up as the featured dungeon. So does this mean that people actually have to go and find it on the World Map Director? Asking for multiple friends here who probably want to do this. I've looked at it and I'm like, how? But, some people want to know how to do this. We need to know where it is. Is it going to be in the portal? Is it going to be maybe it's going to be under the tab of Arms Week? Because sometimes when you go to the event home of the thing, you can go to the tower, you can play the event activity. So maybe it'll be in there. Hopefully that's where they put it, I'm thinking. Because if they don't put it in there, or if they do put it in there and you go to the world map and you go to the director and you find it on the world map and then you do it via the world map, will it still count? That's another question for you, Bungie. I don't know.
This whole challenge just seems like I don't know.
I get the challenge for if you don't want to play PvP stuff, there is something for you to do PvE wise. But I'm not sure.
No problem.
Yes, that's the thing. So to get it, you have to get this emblem. You have to do this dungeon from January 27th after reset time and finish on. As long as you finish it by February 3rd before the reset time, you have to do it solo, and you can only use bows, glaives, and swords. You can swap out as many different bows, glaives, and swords as you want in even different slots. The dungeon must be completed in one go without going to orbit between encounters. Flawless completion's not required. So it doesn't matter if you die, you just have to do it. So you're allowed to use your abilities. The following movement techniques using swords with the Enraged perk and skating are allowed. Not allowed are weapons other than bows, glaives, and swords going out of bounds and skipping encounters or traversal sections. There'll be tracking completions internally, so you don't have to submit your Bungie IDs for this one, but instead, maybe you can record and share your successful runs with us on social media using the hashtag Dark Age Hunt, and I'll also be rewarding you with the Movie of the Week emblem. So there you go. If you do it and you record it, you could get the Movie of the Week emblem. You've got a few days to prepare for your strategies, then 1 whole week to complete the challenge. Good luck. Yeah, good luck, because that meatball at the end is hard enough. Bows? And how are you going to use... glaive maybe like projectiles and things, but swords, you can throw swords at it, I guess. Maybe if you use the lightsaber, you can just deflect its rubbish back, or whatever everybody else is shooting at you back at it. Yeah.
I'm sure many people that try it. I'm sure there'll be many that succeed. But yeah, I was like, of all the things that are the crossbows? I assume the crossbows are.
Yeah, that'd be. Yeah, that's going to be hard for that first boss where he teleports you into the cage and you're slowly being taken up, and you've got to find the stupid blight ball to shoot to unlock the cage before you kind of get spiked. Bows and glaives on that. I mean, and swords. I'm like, no,
Bows,
no.
really.
Bows, yeah. Oh, God. Oh, jeez. Yeah, I suppose you could still use your glaive to do a projectile, but I don't know if it would hit the edge of the cage. Yeah, good luck, because I might try it, I might not. If I get to that first stage and stumble, I'm like, nope, not doing this. I mean, the ogre thing on the second encounter might be a little bit easier, but solo it's going to take quite a few. I don't know. We'll see how it goes, I guess. So if you really want that emblem, there's a challenge for you. There's nothing else for you to do in the game PvE wise. You have to go and play Crucible. No, well, you don't have to, but Arms Week dictates that you have to use bows to get combat telemetry and all of that goodness for doing Arms Week stuff. And as I'm kind of going around the houses about Arms Week, and I just want to kind of refresh people, I'm going to drop in what is happening next week in Destiny or this week in Destiny now, because I've got a little guide for you on Arms Week and all the goodness that is coming next week. So have a listen to that and then come back and join Peroty and me while we continue with our WARB. This is your weekly rundown for Destiny 2 Renegades, Week 9 starting on January 27th. This week sees the return of the limited time event Arms Week, which has a focus on one weapon each time it comes around, with this week being bows. You can find Arms Week on the main portal tab, with its own event home, where it has its own exclusive reward pass. Completing the event and completing challenges progress your ranks, unlocking exclusive gear and rewards. Completing the daily and weekly event challenges also reward event tokens, which can be exchanged for exclusive gear and rewards in the Arms Week reward shop, including Holophore variations of the featured weapons. These include the new Void Aggressive Frame Glaive, the Heron, and the new Arc Precision Frame Bow, King Orfeo. Both of these weapons come with the new origin trait of Nail Meets Hammer. This weapon is more effective against combatant shields, and grants special ammo progress if it uses primary or heavy ammo, or heavy ammo progress if it uses special ammo. Also available is the very limited Strand Micro Missile Frame Grenade Launcher Gizmo Weft. This Arms Week will also see two new playlists added into the Crucible, Medieval Hardware and Rumble Hardware. Medieval Hardware is a 6v6 PvP match where only bows, glaives and swords will be permitted. Both Rumble Hardware and Medieval Hardware will also include the following modifiers. Volatile mod weapons are enabled and no abilities or supers will be allowed. Weapons only. To kick off the event, Guardians must first visit Ada 1 over in the shooting range and collect the featured weapon and quest, which consists of completing Crucible matches and getting kills with the featured weapon. Also, by completing challenges with bows, you'll be able to collect combat telemetry, which can be turned into Ada 1 at the shooting range, allowing her to build more weapons and other rewards, including time-limited and very powerful volatile mods. These include Shatter Shafts, arrows and bolts split into several projectiles after a short distance. Jump Shot, drawing this weapon whilst in midair triggers increased damage, faster draw time, improved target acquisition and dramatically faster movement speed for a short time or until you touch the ground. This effect is activated once per jump and becomes available again after a moment on the ground. And Tungsten Bowstring, deals increased damage at a cost of draw time and handling. Releases an elemental explosion matching this weapon when fully drawn. Kinetic weapons release a burst matching your equipped super. Arms Week also features a seal and title to unlock called Sharpshooter. Chance to complete are Ephemeral Arsenal, Wishing Scope, Ada's Anarchy, Rush Recall, Terrible Modish, Aim to Please, Right on Target, and Gun Believable. Daily challenges include Shattered Arrows, Precision Archer, Rapid Retribution, Empyrean Archer, Group Project, Combat Training, Volatile Mod Steady Flight, and Flying Solo, with the weekly being full spend. Spend 400 combat telemetry during Arms Week. Ada 1 will also be on hand to train and test your skills, with time trials and target practice at the shooting range in the tower. Arms Week runs from the daily reset on Tuesday to the following Tuesday's reset. Over in the Portal Crucible Ops this week will be Competitive, Control, Medieval Hardware, and Rumble Hardware, with Trials of Osiris at the weekend. Other non-featured modes of 3v3 Hardware Mixed and 6v6 Rift can be found over on the Crucible Director. In the Solo Ops we have Skywatch, the Salt Mines, the Conflux, Creation, K1 Logistics, and Caldera, with the new Solo Ops Typhoon Imperator. In the Fireteam Ops we have one of the rotating Reclaim missions, with this week being Fallen Bunker, Heist Battlegrounds Moon, and Defiant Battlegrounds EDZ, with the Sunless Cell Strike. Strikes added in Week 2 of Renegades with the Birthplace of the Vile, Exodus Crash, Warden of Nothing, and the Arms Dealer. Also still in the Fireteam Ops are the Battlegrounds Behemoth, Core, Oracle, Foothold, Delve and Conduit, Expedition Nessus, The Strikes of Liminality, Hypernet Current, Insight Terminus, Fallen Saber, The Devil's Lair, Proving Grounds, The Inverted Spire, and The Glassway, Empire Hunts the Warrior, Technocrat and Dark Priestess, and Savathûn Spire Offensive. In the Arena Ops are Season of Plunders, Ketch Crash, Season of Loss, Astral Alignment, and Season of the Haunted's Nightmare Containment. In the Pinnacle Ops we have the 3 dungeon layers, Pit of Heresy Beneath the Necropolis, Duality Nightmare of Goron, and Warlord's Ruin Locus of the Wailing Grief, with Onslaught Midtown, Episode Revenant's Contest of Elders, and The Coil. New to the Pinnacle Ops we have the exotic mission Vox Obscura, with the Dead Messenger exotic Waveframe Grenade Launcher as the main reward, and Episode Heresy's Dear Allies mission, for the Baradide exotic submachine gun. Returning exotic missions include Heliostat, with the Wolfsbane exotic axe as the main reward, Presage, with the Dead Man's Tale exotic scout rifle being the main reward, Node Override Avalon, with the Excalibur exotic glaive being the main reward, Starcrossed, with the Witchkeeper exotic bow being the main reward, the Whisper, with the Whisper of the Worm exotic sniper being the main reward, Kel's Fall, with the Slayer's Fang exotic shotgun being the main reward, and Encore, with the Choir of One auto rifle being the main reward. Also in the portal is the new Vanguard Alerts tab, found in the Seasonal Hub, which consists of weekly challenges in Vanguard, Arena, Crucible, and Grandmaster Alerts. Over on the Lawless Frontier, the contested territory will start this week's rotation with Europa, and the Fire and Ice exotic mission will be Solar Threat. On Kepler, featured mission 1 this week will be Commencement, and featured mission 2 will be Charge. For our Legacy rotation, the Dreaming City this week is at a medium curse level, which means Petrovenge can be found in the Divilian Mist, and has the Oracle Engine mission for the next week. The Blindwell features Hive enemies and the Plague Kragar. The Ascendant Chant will be the Shattered Ruins over in the Spine of Keris. On the Moon, the weekly story mission is a Mysterious Disturbance. The Trove Guardian is located in the Anchor of Light, while the Wandering Nightmare is the Nightmare of Jax, Claws of Zevra Wrath at the Hellmouth. Nightmare hunts Skolas, Pride, Omnigul, Anguish, and Zydron Servitude. The Altars of Sorrow start this week's rotation with the Nightmare of Zydron and the Heretic Rocket Launcher. On Europa this week, Phylax the Warrior will be the Empire Hunt, Asterian's Abyss will be the Eclipse Zone, and the Exo Challenge will be Agility. Dares of Eternity Expert difficulty rounds are Fallen, Hive, and Zydron. The Scatterhorn armor set and the Wild Hunt armor set will be available in Dares of Eternity with Weapon Set 1. Arsenic Bite 4B, Blasper 2, Corsair's Wrath, Deafening Whisper, Dire Promise, Enigma's Draw, Escape Velocity, Giant 7 Rifle, Friction Fire, Royal Chase, True Prophecy, and Timeline's Vertex. The Witch Queen weekly story mission is The Ghost, Altar of Reflections Catalyst, and Altar of Reflections Pact. The Wellspring activity will start the week on Defense, with the Void Sniper, Father Sin, and Zurich Scorn Raider as the boss. The Lightfall weekly mission is Breakneck, the Partition mission will be Ordnance, and the Vex incursion will be Umshire Park. In the Pale Heart is the exotic class item mission Dual Destiny, and the 12 Guardian Match-Made Excision mission, with a Grandmaster version guaranteeing you the Ergosum Catalyst and an Ascendant Shard. The Lost Sector rotation for this week will start with Vel's Labyrinth on the Cosmodrome, Bay of Drowned Wishes on the Dreaming City, Scavenger's Den on the EDZ, Bunker E15 on Europa, K1 Revelations on the Moon, Hydroponics Delta on Neptune, the Conflux on Nessus, Sepultura on the Throne World, and the Blooming Deep in the Pale Heart. All legacy raids and challenges are now available all the time, and at present there are also no featured raids or dungeons each week, but you can farm past raids and dungeons for their respective exotic weapons, with no weekly lockouts. Over on Kepler we have the Desert Perpetual Raid, and Desert Perpetual Epic Raid, with both versions dropping tiered +3 loot, with the chance for the exotic rocket launcher Whirling Ovation to drop. Over on Venus, the new dungeon Equilibrium has the chance for the exotic combat bow Heirloom and the Dark Matter Crystal for the Praxis Blade to drop. The exotic mission rotator will be Vox Obscura, with the Dead Messenger exotic grenade launcher being the main reward, the Season of Arisen's weapon set, plus the Tusk Allegiance armor set. The exotic missions The Whisper and Zero Hour will also be available in the Legends tab. And that's it for the 9th week of Renegades.
There you go. Now you know all about our third arms week. Is the third one?
Yes.
Third? Fourth? Yeah.
Third one. Yep.
Medieval weaponry, bows and sticks.
Yeah. Game to Give, that's still going. They've got some more live streams coming up and they've nearly reached their goal. I was listening to the Destiny Digest last night and they had 2 of the community members on there that are part of the Game to Give and the guys that run Game to Give for Bungie, and they were going over all the wonderful things that they do and how they kind of got involved in Game to Give and the Bungie Foundation. So that's worth a listen to. I will drop that in the show notes. But I mean, it's quite a quick one this week for them. But that's all they kind of talked about. They'd nearly reached their goal. I think on Thursday they'd gone over the million. I think they said they were only like 70,000 away from actually hitting their internal goal. So they are probably there by now, by the time we got to Saturday. So yeah, we've got until January 29th at 10 a.m. PT to give to the Games to Give, and you can, and we will still link the Tiltify page stuff and the Bungie Foundation stuff in our show notes if you want to kind of click those links and find out what's going on and what you can kind of donate and what you can kind of get in game.
Yeah, as let's see, as we record this morning, they are at, as it keeps updating as I read it, $1,305,071.72. So they're, yeah,
Cool.
still, oh wait, no, they're 1,177. They're not 1,395,000.
Hello. Sorry for breaking up this amazing podcast with me talking again, but don't worry, I'm not selling you anything. This is not an ad. This is just a little bit of information. Just because I suppose you've probably already heard it. There was some issues with Peroty's recording this week, so I unfortunately have had to cut quite a lot of what he said out towards the end of the podcast because it got really, really bad. And I have put in as much as I can for the issues this week that he was able to go over with Marathon, but most of the other issues were repeated from last week. So I have just put in what he'd already read out from last week on his player support report. So I will now return you to your amazing podcast, and you can continue listening to us talk, sort of. We've got another addition to the new player guide. So if you're confused at what the tower is and what's in the tower, that's in the new player guide for this week. Trials, if you're wondering what's going on in Trials. If you're not in Trials, we've got Javelin 4, and the Astral Horizon Kinetic Shotgun is back, even though there are other rewards in there. So if you like that, that's what's back. And now, what you've all been looking forward to is the player support report by Peroty.
Let's see what we have this week. Broken and fixed things. So we have some Destiny 2 Marathon pre-order pack information. Earlier this week, pre-orders of our new Marathon went live. Players who pre-order will unlock a bundle of Marathon-themed items in Destiny 2. Players must pre-order on a platform that is the same Bungie.net profile as their Destiny 2 account to receive Marathon pre-order pack. Players can acquire their items at the special delivery terminal at Tower. And for troubleshooting and support, they have a whole page about linking and delivery and all that. I did also see, as I saw that people were pre-ordering and getting things delivered, getting things delivered as a Destiny 2 expansion. And I did see on Steam currently. So again, like if you are playing on, been playing on console and are now going to be playing things on PC or whatever, or got a new PC for Christmas, there is a Destiny 2 franchise sale going on Steam right now where Renegades is discounted for the first time ever. That's 30% off. So instead of $40 for Renegades, it's $28 currently US. They have the entire Destiny 2 Legacy collection right now on sale for $9.40. So the Hunter Polar Wolf helmet is not displaying its ears with the hood down. I don't know why I find that funny. It just seems like of all the people, you have ears. Well, what if we put the hood down? Nope, no ears. Were the ears on the hood? Did we forget how wolves work? Inside you are two wolves. One of those wolves has ears on its hood. One of it has ears on its head. You have to choose which is which. So yeah, hunters, you've lost your ears as a wolf. The Martlet Pulse Rifle turns the incorrect color when black shaders are applied to the weapon. So even Bungie doesn't know what color shader should actually be. I wonder what color it changes. The Covert Ranger Cloak Ornament does not properly move with the character model and physics. When some exotic armors are equipped, it is not increasing the new armor gear damage resistance stat when previewing the artifact. This is a display-only issue and exotics are applying their damage resistance, but not increasing the counter. So it's working, it just doesn't say so on the tin. Trust us. Hey, one thing I did notice this week, the Dawning Oven is still present in some players' inventories after the event has ended. The description for the Vanguard Alert Challenge's weekly objective incorrectly referenced general activity challenges in its description. The objectives can be progressed with the Vanguard Alert activity challenges or the Grandmaster Vanguard Alerts. So, to do the Vanguard Alert things, you have to do Vanguard Alert activities. Which Bungie knows, but they did not tell you. We've identified an issue where the Renegades campaign activities and Lawless Frontier jobs default to normal difficulty. Players can set the difficulty to expert when launching into these activities if they would like to earn greater rewards. Completing jobs on either difficulty will not impact the Legendary Campaign completion triumphs. So if you're doing the Legendary Campaign, you can do your Lawless Frontier stuff on either tier, it does not matter. But if you're playing it going, this seems really easy compared to what I was doing, that would be because it is, unless you specifically changed it and said, no, I want the struggle, I want the challenge. And finally, players encounter an endless black screen when launching into the Exodus Garden 2A Expert Lost Sector from the flag in the Cosmodrome. So yeah, those are the things we know about this week. And we have art, we have movies.
I suppose the only other kind of Destiny marathon news is that Shadow and Order might get delayed due to Marathon's leak and release on March 5th, because we were meant to get Shadow and Order, which is our post-Renegade major update, on March 3rd, so a couple of days before they decided they were going to do that. So yeah, on our regular Tuesday, and then on a Thursday, they've got Marathon coming out. So are you in game at the moment?
I am not in game at the moment.
Yeah.
The laptop I think I was too is currently not working.
The only reason I ask is that you can look on your artifact to see when the next row of mods will become available, and that's normally when we get our next update, as well as kind of looking on the event pass as well and things. So we could have a look on Destiny, my Destiny companion, and see what they say, because they're pretty good at telling you what's available. Well, apparently I need to update while I'm here. So yeah, the Lawless Pass, 38 days and 1 hour from today. So that still says to me that they're planning to do March 3rd.
Yeah, they haven't at least haven't officially canceled or postponed anything. Yeah, I assume people are looking at this and assuming that's what's going to happen. Yeah, they haven't said anything in terms of we are going to officially delay or push this back in any way.
The thing is, I mean, it's obviously kind of set with when it's going to be released for Destiny 2, because regardless of whether Marathon comes out or not, it's like another game could have ultimately come out on the 5th that had nothing to do with Bungie and them control it. So does it really matter if we have Shadow and Order a couple of days before? I don't think so, because people, if they want to play Destiny, will still play Destiny, go off and play Marathon, and then maybe come back, because the Shadow and Order is going to be like our next major expansion that's only going to last up until we get, whatever the new expansions are going to be further on down the line, which will give people enough time, hopefully, to have played their Marathon and then come back and play some Destiny, and then know what's going to be happening for Destiny 2 and Marathon later on down the line. But nothing official as yet.
So yeah, I mean, we'll see. Obviously, they'll tell us if and when things are happening. They'll be like, "Hey, here's when they're happening," and we'll just have to find out when that happens. But yeah, until then, as far as we know, everything is coming out when they say it's going to come out. And
so, I've got a couple of videos for you to look at this week. I've got Do These Tricks Saved My Vault from GSX Clyde, and he goes over some vault cleaning tips with the new layout of the vault. I'm not necessarily following them, but if you guys out there are struggling with vault management, you could always listen to what other people are saying.
I was wondering if you had taken any of those tips and tricks or not.
And the other video that I'm going to put in is Bungie just changed how Suros works from Aztecross. I don't know whether this was recently or not. It was one that kind of popped up on my feed. I was like, oh, because the Suros set that you can get from Zavala kind of synergizes with the Suros regime and other Suros weapons. So Aztecross has got a cool video on that this week, I think. I think it was this week, but those are my kind of tips. And then also the Destiny Digest podcast. Hello, me back again. Only because we're in the middle of recommending some videos, and Peroty did recommend a couple of videos for people to kind of watch this week. But again, the audio cut out quite a lot. So I'm back again to basically say what he said. So he did recommend a video from Lego LaFlash on the Sledgehammer Fusion, but it's actually the Mondi 44 Fusion rifle. He calls it a sledgehammer. I haven't watched that one, so I was unsure about that. But I do know about Cheese Forever, who also recommended a couple of Equilibrium Dungeon cheeses and tricks solo flawless. So Peroty did recommend you have a look at that one. And then the third one that he recommended this week was from Cammy Cakes Gaming, which was Renegades review from the point of view of an end game player. Again, I haven't watched that one, but Peroty recommended you guys check that one out. So that will also be in the show notes. So those are the videos that he recommended this week that he did tell us about, but his audio decided it didn't want to tell you that he recommended those things. So yeah, that's it. So I'm going to hand back over to Peroty from the previous week to thank our patrons, because they all are amazing. You all amazing patrons. And close out the show. Thank you, Noble.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Wart Wizard. Thank you, Golden God 1562. Thank you, the Man Conan from Texas. Thank you, Farrell, for all being our wonderful grenade throwers. And thank you, Renard Calant, Toby and Extraordinaire, collecting all of the cat cosmetics. We'll have to have him on at some point, Demon, to get a full accounting of the best cat cosmetics in the game, because he's going to have all of them. He's going to have every last one. He is basically going to be cat incarnate.
Yep.
So, yeah. Thank you for all our lovely patrons who've said, we're still here. We're still playing this game because we're still having a good time. We're playing dress up. We're finding funny names because, you got to make your own fun. And thank you for listening to us as, you're here and you can hear me. And if you're not hearing me, then you're not listening to us. What are you doing with your life? Because you should. But thank you for joining us. We're everywhere. Just search Two Titans and a Hunter. You can email at twotitansandhunter@hotmail.com. You can leave comments on YouTube videos telling you how much you enjoyed Old Men Yelling at Clouds, Noble's participation, or, anything else you want to. You should leave comments. Demon works hard. He tells you what happens each and every week, what to play, what to look like, what dress up you can do. He has you covered on all the things over on YouTube. You can get all the show notes and all the links we talk about, twotitansandhunter.com, or just, scroll down your podcast player. They're all there in the lovely show notes. We tell you all the things all the time. If you want to join the auto dance troop, threaten us with a good time, throw more grenades, join our Patreon, patreon.com/TTAH. If you're looking for more casual coffee-based encounter, that's ko-fi.com/twotitansandahunter, and twitch.tv/twotitansandahunter, because you never know what we're up to. We never know what we're up to. But maybe you can join us. Until next week, boys, tell the people goodbye.
Goodbye.
Two Titans and a Hunter, a Destiny 2 podcast.